Hi, it's Elise. So today we're working on hip openers. So hips are kind of the junk drawer of the body, things we don't want to address emotionally, intellectually, they live in our hips. Also, we tend to sit a lot in life, which compresses the hips. So we're going to clean that out today. So we'll come into an open knee child's pose. So come onto your hands and knees as wide as the mat, big toes touching behind you, send your hips back to your heels. So walk your hands up a little bit, but make sure your forearms and elbows stay grounded. Find length in the spine and breathe. So with your knees as wide as the mat, it adds just an extra stretch to your hips. If it's available on the shoulders, you can rotate your forearms and palms up. Possibly some movement in the hips and forehead. 2 more breaths. Sure. Movement in the hips and forehead. Take about 2 more breaths. And then on your last exhale, come back to tabletop. Move your hands out of the way. You'll step 1 foot up. And then the other, finding a forward fold at the top of the mat. So feet are hips width distance, soften the knees, head is heavy. Let's take hands to cup opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Release your arms, bring your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. On your next inhale, stand all the way up. Palms touch, look at the thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart. Palms by your hips. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Palms by your hips. So we're coming into bear pose. So have your feet to the inner edges of the mat. Bring your hands to your waist, bend your knees, and send your hips way back. So think about a football player about to spike the ball. It's a very similar setup. So wiggle your waist in between your thighs. Keep your tail reaching back. Start to reach the crown of your head forward and then add the arms. So it's like you're holding a big beach ball over your head. Reach the crown of your head forward, reach your hips back. You're gonna feel a whole lot of sensation. This is a very grounding and strong pose. It's bear pose. Take 2 more breaths. Pull that belly in. 1 more inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to waist. Slowly rise. So center your right foot. You'll step your left foot way back, coming into warrior 2. Make sure that right knee's tracking over your ankle and look inside your knee and make sure you see your right big toe, right arm forward, left arm back. So back big toe is turned inward, really press through the outer edge of your foot and keep your arms kind of floating in space. Breathe. So lots of hips today, just notice sensation. Try not to resist it. Use some muscle here. Use the inner thighs, so squeeze your heels a little bit towards each other. Soft jaw, soft brow. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior 2. Hands to heart. Think ninja thoughts. You're gonna lift that left heel and then spring it up. Left foot up to meet the right, back to bear. So feet are to the inner edges of your mat. Bend the knees, send your hips back. Wiggle your waist in between your thighs. Arms reach overhead. So if you feel some sensation in your shoulders, widen the distance between your hands. Your beach ball can be as big as your shoulders need it to be, but reach your tail back and the crown of your head forward. Feel that work in your hip flexors. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, stand up. So left foot centered, right foot back, warrior 2. So you have that back arch to front heel alignment, sitting into your left thigh, pressing that left knee open, floating your arms in space. Think about lifting your chest through your arms and breathe. Not collapsing in your bone structure, using those muscles to lift you up. And your drishti, your focal point, is straight down your fingers. 2 more breaths. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Hands to waist, ninja thoughts, right foot up, mountain pose. Back to bear. Feet are to the inner edges of your mat. Bend the knees, send your hips way back. Wiggle your waist in between your thighs. You can reach your arms back if your shoulders are getting tired, or hold that beach ball. One more inhale. Exhale, stand up. Right foot is centered. Take a quick warrior two. Lift your heart. Notice maybe you feel a little bit more open in the hips this round. Take your hands to your waist. So your right toes are gonna be turned out and your left toes are gonna be turned out, sitting into your hips, coming into a goddess stance. Just start to shift side to side. And every once in a while, check in with your lower belly and your lower back. Make sure you're not collapsing. Knit in those bottom ribs. And then hands very softly on your thighs, lift your heart, and breathe into the hips for 3 more breaths. And then if you want a little extra balance challenge, elbows to ribs, palms out like if you were holding 2 trays. 1 more inhale, you can do it. Exhale, straighten the legs, turn your toes forward, left foot up, last bear. Feet are to the inner edges of your mat, send your hips back, wiggle your waist in between your thighs. So you're pulling your spine in opposite directions, reaching the crown of your head forward, reaching your tail back. Do something with your arms. Exhale, straighten your legs, left foot forward, right foot back, warrior two. Check in with the hips. 1 more full breath in, and then transitioning back to your goddess pose, heels in, toes out, sit into your legs. And if you're a gentleman and you're like, wait, but goddess, I don't want to be a goddess. So for the ladies, this is called goddess pose. For the gentlemen, it's called horse stance, and I did not make that up. Elbows in, palms out. Tail is heavy, breathe. Try not to resist the sensation in the hips. 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale, can you sit a little deeper? Exhale, straighten the legs, turn your toes forward. Step up, mountain pose, breathe. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, come onto your seat, and we'll end with a figure 4 stretch. So feet or hips width distance apart, roll onto your back, and then cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Flex that foot, check in with the spine, make sure your shoulders are down, and then stop 1. You can bring your right hand onto your right thigh and assist this stretch. So if you find that your thigh is really pulling in, give it a little push forward. This is stop 1. Stop 2, you're gonna float the left foot. You can keep your right hand on your thigh. If it's available, you can thread your right arm through with both hands grabbing your left hamstring. You wanna keep a 90-degree angle in your left leg and both feet are flexed. This is an active stretch. And then pulling the thigh in, relaxing your shoulders, feeling that stretch right at the connection between your hip and glute. 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale, pull the thigh in. Exhale, release, and we're just gonna switch. So left ankle on top of right thigh, flex the foot, assess, possibly pressing that left thigh forward. Make sure you're not crunching your shoulder up to your ear if you're doing that. And then stop 2, float the right leg, 90-degree angle, maybe keeping that left hand there or threading through, grabbing behind your right thigh. So you're pulling your thigh into your chest, and if it's touching, poke that left elbow into your left thigh. Again, the whole purpose of that is to keep that left leg moving forward. Breathe. Sometimes from left to right, it feels like you live in a completely different body, and that's just being a human being. There's no symmetry in the human body. 1 more inhale, and then exhale, gently release. Thank you so much for taking class with me today. And if you enjoyed this sequence, save it, and then you can do it whenever you want. Also, let me know comments, opinions, or requests by commenting below.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.